NewGenGamers.com. Retro.
Hello, from NewGenGamers.com, this is Ron, and
this is Duck.
And we're looking at Lethal Enforcers from Konami on the Sega CD. This was an arcade port, and it was a very successful arcade game and a lot of fun, and pretty damn violent for the time as well.
Absolutely.
There was robbers, there was innocents, there was things that just you didn't see much of back then, so this was pretty extreme as far as the content went.
Now, this game used a light gun. I don't know if they called it that for the Sega. Oh, gotta reload. You shoot the cops. See, you don't want to do that. Shooting cops is bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Not if you've played Grand Theft Auto, though. I think they kind of turned that around.
But it was a lot easier. As you can see, I'm playing with the cursor here. It was a lot easier to play with the light gun. A lot more fun.
Yeah, I've played the Genesis port of this with the controller, and it's just not very easy. This was definitely one that you wanted to have the gun for.
So basically, this is about it. Now, as we were just talking about, this is a predecessor to some of the better shooting games that you can get these days, such as House of the Dead, and what was the other one they made? Time Crisis. That was it.
Oh yes,
Time Crisis.
Yeah, okay.
House of the Dead and Time Crisis.
Right, and I'd say Time Crisis was probably the follow-up to this because it was done by Konami.
There you go.
So.
And these games, a lot of quarters were spent on these. These were excellent arcade games. You could sit there with two of your friends at wherever the skating rink or the parlor and just kick out the quarters all day long. Just act like a really badass cop. And who doesn't want to act that way once in a while?
Right, yeah. I mean, these were great games. They had, I don't know how many they ended up making, but they were all really fun, and they were all just like this. You know, you're on rails, you'd come up to a scene, bad guys would pop up, innocents would pop up. Sometimes you'd get some car chase scenes. Here you're outside the building.
Hell yeah, and he rolls out from behind the car. Now, we have other cops helping us, but mainly they're just there to get in the way and for us to try not to shoot. There you go, right in the face.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest parts of the challenge of the game is not shooting the cops and the innocents.
Now you'll notice there isn't any blood in the game, but once again, this was another issue for the ESRB. One of the reasons it was formed because of games like this that were violent enough. That gunshot kind of looks like a blood splatter. But I mean, violence is a big thing here in America, as well as many other things. But they had to form a group that, you know, rated games, let people know you don't want your kids playing this. There is mob violence in it. And we'll see if we can get some of the car chase scene here, because that's pretty cool.
They don't want your children to think that you should just get a gun and go kill the bad guys, I guess. I don't know what.
Don't shoot them in the sunglasses, basically.
But this is a really great game. If you have the gun or the arcade port, as you can see, it's kind of with the controller, it's very stiff, and you know, he's doing a good job aiming, but it's not as fluid.
No. And it's just something about holding that gun in your hand and shooting it off screen to reload.
Right, yeah, reloading's always a blast, you know.
We should mention also that a lot of gun games are going to be making a comeback on Nintendo Wii here. The biggest game that will be coming out is Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. Do you want to say a little bit about that, Ron?
Well, that's being done by Capcom, and that should be really good. We haven't got to see a really well done home shooter game for a while,
for a long time.
It's going to be using the Nintendo Zapper configuration, which isn't really an extra peripheral, but is basically a base to hold the Wiimote and nunchuck in, so it acts like a gun.
There are a lot of people in that car.
There is.
People are coming out of the trunk and out of the hood.
So definitely check that out when it comes along. And I'm interested to try that out.
Yeah, and if you ever get a chance and you're in an arcade somewhere, they still exist here in America in some places. You see Lethal Enforcers, give it a try. It's a fun game, it's better with the gun. And as far as the port goes, this is a pretty good port of it. It's just a clicky, shooty game, and it's a lot of fun. So have a beer and play this with your friends, and it's game over time. So from me and Ron at NewGenGamers, Go check out NewGenGamers.com. Check out Console Wars of the Past 3.1, Ray Tennett's article. He mentions the Sega CD in there, and let's do this for shits and giggles.
Ass.
Ass. Alright. So happy arcading, everyone.
NewGenGamers.com